bit gloomy out here today. It's a bit gloomy, don't you think? Look at that. The sky is gray. It's just a little bit chilly, but not too bad. It's actually a nice day out here. I wish I could go to a beach, have a nice vacation at the beach. How about you? Would you like to join me for a vacation at the beach? Or is your idea of a good vacation diametrically opposed to mine? Maybe you don't like beaches. Maybe you like the mountains. Let me know. Are your ideas of a good vacation diametrically opposed to... Guys, just heard some rustling over here. It wasn't the ducks. What made that rustling sound? See those ducks swimming away there? There was something else in this water that made... Oh, you guys can hear it, right? Must be a fish. Must be a fish hiding in and among these reeds. These things can be called reeds. It's over there now. Guys, what is that? Is that a fish under there? I'm so interested in figuring out. Yeah, he's gone now. I'm back, Mr. Fish, if you are a fish. Oh, now it's over there. It must be a fish, guys. So anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, vacations. Okay. So diametrically opposed. What does that mean? Diametrically opposed is a way to say very different, completely opposite. Okay. So if you like going to, let's say you want to go to a party and I just want to stay home and have a quiet evening at home. You know, then our ideas, our desires are diametrically opposed to each other. Okay? I'll give you another example before we talk about this word diametrically a little bit, okay? Another example would be the conflict in the Middle East. Now, how can we make this sentence? There's a plane ruining my video. Guys, everything is ruining my video now. And what's that noise? There's like a high-pitched, like a whistling noise coming from over there. Guys, welcome to the life of a YouTuber. As soon as I turn on my camera, there's fish jumping out of the water, hiding in the reeds. There's planes flying overhead. There's weird whistling noises coming from over there. Give me a like. This is what YouTubers have to deal with, barking dogs. Everything, guys. So now I'm a bit flustered. I got a bit flustered. Flustered means just kind of like stressed and like, you know, scatterbrained. Means your brain is kind of here and there and you can't really think properly. So I got a bit flustered, guys, and scatterbrained. Okay, so we could make a sentence like this. The conflict in the Middle East is usually interpreted in diametrically opposing ways. Okay, so the conflict in the Middle East is usually interpreted in diametrically opposing ways. One group says that those are the bad guys over there. They started this war. They need to be punished. And those people say, no, you are the bad guys over there. You started this war and you need to be punished. Guys, there's another fish. See, sometimes the fish jump out. Sometimes they, I think sometimes the fish just come up for a little bit of air. Do fish breathe air? They breathe underwater. They don't need air. Why do fish come up? Is it to eat, I don't know. It makes sense to me that the fish come up to get some fresh air. If I were a fish, I would stick my nose above the water every now and then to get a bit of fresh air, guys. How about you? What would you do if you were a fish? So guys, you know, on political issues or on any kind of global conflicts, people often, you know, they either fall on this side or on this side, right? Diametrically opposed, you know. So, you know, they interpret it in very different ways. Okay. So let's think about this word, diametrically. What does it mean? What does it actually mean just by itself, diametrically? Well, I'll tell you. But before I mention that, I want to mention that this word is always used with either the words opposed or opposite or opposing. I think it's going to be one of those three, okay? So when you hear the word diametrically, you know the next word. It's going to be one of those three, and they mean the same thing, they're just in different forms, right? So it's a very specific word that you will always see in this context. You'll see it with this word. Okay, not all words are like this. Many words are very versatile. Okay, versatile means you can use them in many different ways, many different situations. How about the word big? Big. If I say, that's a big, what's the next word? Do you know what it's going to be? That's a very big house. Look at that. It's a very big house. You didn't know what the next word was going to be, right? Look at that. There's a big bridge. There's a big tree. There's a big canal. I have a big nose. You have big ideas. You have big dreams, big goals, right? Big, you don't know what's coming next. Okay, so on one side we have words that are very specific, and you always know which word is coming next. With diametrically, it's either going to be opposite, opposed, or opposing, something like that, right? But with a word like big, it's very open-ended, right? You can use it in many different ways. And then some words are like in the middle, right? Where it's usually used with a certain word, but it doesn't need to be. For example, the word pepperoni. When I say the word pepperoni, what's the next word? You're probably thinking pizza, right? Pepperoni pizza. I love pepperoni pizza, guys. How about you? Do you love pepperoni pizza? So there's a word that is, guys, what am I doing? I'm just standing here. It's because there's people all over the place. Let's keep walking. Let's keep going past the bridge. Maybe there won't be as many people there. Okay, so the word pepperoni, it might be followed by the word pizza 80% of the time. Usually when people use the word pepperoni, they're talking about pepperoni pizza. But it doesn't need to be. Pepperoni is its own thing. You could eat pepperoni just plain. A lot of people eat pepperoni sticks. You know, those pepperoni sticks that you can buy at the grocery store or at gas stations, you know, as a snack. So you eat pepperoni as a snack. Or you could eat pepperoni on a sandwich. People behind me, guys. More people in front of me. Time to go down to the canal and catch my breath. I'm out of breath, guys. I'm too fat these days. All right, we made it down to the peaceful canal here. Okay, so do you get what I'm saying? Pepperoni is usually followed by the word pizza, maybe, I don't know, 80% of the time. Maybe 50%, I don't know. But you don't need to. You know, you could have a pepperoni sandwich or a pepperoni, I don't know, whatever other kind of food you make, right? So we have, on one hand, we have the word big, which is really versatile. We don't know what's coming next. We don't know what word is coming next. But then we have, you know, more specific, the word pepperoni, where we can probably predict the next word is going to be pizza. And then we have, even further, we have a really specific word, and that is diametrically. it will always be followed by the word opposed or opposite or opposing, okay? So there it is. Now let's talk about what it means. What is diametric? What is that word? Is it a word? Well, not really. It's not really used in normal English. But to think about a word that is used in normal English, and that word is diameter. So think about this word. Diameter, diametrically. Oh yeah, it makes sense. Diametrically means we're talking about the diameter of a circle. Okay, what is the diameter of a circle? What does that mean? Well, that means the distance from one side of the circle to the other. Okay, if you cut a line right down the middle, but let's say you have a pie or a pizza, and you cut the pizza in half. That is the diameter. Okay, so the diameter is from one side to the other side. If it's from the middle to one of the sides, I'm out of breath, guys. All this math making me out of breath. If it's from the middle to one side, it's called the radius. And if it's all the way around, it's called the circumference. Okay? I need to get more exercise and stop eating cake. All right, guys. So the diameter, like for example, if you order a pizza and it says, and you know, let's say you call to order pizza and they say, what size would you like? You say, I want an 8-inch pizza. What does that mean? 8 inches is the diameter. It's not the circumference. It's not the radius. Okay? It's the 8 inches all the way across. Okay, so that would probably be a small pizza. A medium pizza would maybe be 10 maybe, or a large pizza would probably be like 12 to 16 maybe, 20. What size of pizza would you like to eat? I would love to eat an extra large pepperoni pizza, guys. That'd be great. Okay, so 8 inches or 10 inches or whatever it is, that's the distance across. It's not the circumference. The circumference would be larger than that, right? Because the what would it be? How do you figure out the circumference of a circle? Guys, let's keep walking here. I caught my breath. We usually use the word diameter to talk about circles, but we could talk about it, you know, if things are not exactly circles either. Like, what's the diameter of Calgary, right? I'm from Calgary. What's the diameter of the city? Well, it's probably about 20 kilometers. 20 kilometers across the city. Okay, so is Calgary a perfect circle? No, it's not a perfect circle. But, you know, you get the idea. When we use the word diameter, we're like cutting across something, seeing what that is, okay? So take a pizza, for example, and you have the diameter, right? Let's say you order the pizza half one way and half the other way. Let's say you like pepperoni pizza, but your girlfriend wants vegan pizza. Well, some companies, I think companies do this where they make half and half, right? You can call them and say, hey guys, I want an 8-inch pizza, half pepperoni and half vegan. Okay, and they might say, yeah, we can do that. All right, so half the pizza they put pepperoni, half the pizza they put vegetables and crap on there, whatever they put on the other side, right? So that in that situation, that would be diametrically opposed. That pizza would be half one way, half the other way, split by the diameter. So that's what we mean when we talk about diametrically opposed. Okay, so you could say, you know, his culinary preferences are diametrically opposed to hers. Okay, think about this sentence. What does this mean? his diet, his culinary preferences. The word culinary means food. Okay, anytime you see the word culinary, think about food. Okay, so his culinary preferences, that means what kind of foods you like. You know, his preferences are diametrically opposed to her culinary preferences. Okay, so what would that mean, that sentence? It doesn't just mean that you like onions and she doesn't. That's just one thing. Onions, right? Or let's say she doesn't like olives and you love olives. That's one small thing. That doesn't mean diametrically opposed. What diametrically opposed means is that probably you like eating meat and she likes eating, well, she's probably a vegan. Okay, imagine if a girlfriend and boyfriend, right? The girlfriend is vegan and the boyfriend is a meat eater. Then their diets, their culinary preferences are diametrically opposed. Right? They're just completely opposite. And they're probably, those two people, the girlfriend, boyfriend, their lives are probably diametrically opposed in more ways than just culinary preferences, guys. Guys, I'm gonna sit down on this rock because I'm out of breath again. All right, found a nice bench here. Wow, look at this view, guys. The water, some little insects flying around me. Got a nice bench to sit on. This is beautiful. So guys, you know, if actually every vegan, I think every vegan I've ever met in my life is very left-wing on the political spectrum. Okay, so there's a very high chance, in reality, if the boyfriend is a meat eater and the girlfriend is a vegan, they would probably be diametrically opposed in every other facet of life. Facet means part. Okay, so all facets of life means every part of life. Okay, so I would say the girlfriend and boyfriend would be diametrically opposed in every facet of life. We're talking politics, religion, obviously food, you know, just every belief, every attitude, every intention, every, you know. Okay, so when we use this word diametrically opposed, we're not talking about things like if I say bananas are diametrically opposed to apples. No, that doesn't make sense. Okay, because bananas and apples, they're just two different things that we're not, you know, they're not against each other. Okay, when we talk about diametrically opposed, we're talking about things that are against each other. And we use it with words like, you know, preferences, intentions, position, right? You know, you could say his intentions are diametrically opposed to mine. You know, maybe his intentions are to, you know, hurt people and your intentions are to help people. Then your intentions are diametrically opposed, right? Maybe your position is diametrically opposed. You know, you believe that, you know, your company should do something and your boss believes that the company should do something else. Okay, then your position is diametrically opposed to your boss's, right? Or we could talk about needs, right? My needs in the relationship are diametrically opposed to, you know, her needs. Yeah, you both have very different needs. You know, every relationship has needs, right? Or we could use this word with ideas. You know, my ideas are diametrically opposed to your ideas. Or beliefs. You know, my beliefs are diametrically opposed to your beliefs. You know, views. You know, all these words, right? I mean, you know, when we're talking about things that are kind of opposite, I mean, these are examples where we use this word diametrically opposed. Okay, we're not talking about apples and bananas being there. Now, if you love bananas and your boyfriend hates bananas, you could say our views on bananas are diametrically opposed. Our taste of our preference of fruit, you could say our preference of fruit is diametrically opposed. Okay, do you get what I mean? So when we use the word diametrically opposed, we're talking about views, beliefs, intentions, maybe plans. All right, if you plan to do this and your boyfriend plans to do that, well, our plans are diametrically opposed, right? So, I mean, yeah, we can use this word diametrically opposed to talk about food, to talk about many things like politics or anything, but we're talking about people's views or beliefs or intentions or that kind of thing, right? Like I could say, you know, the European Union, like if we talk about the people in the European Union, okay, the people in the EU have diametrically opposite views on what the EU should be. Can you see me, guys? It's really dark out here. Look at this. Maybe we should go for let's keep walking, guys. Let's keep walking. So in the EU, you have different ideas, right? Some people believe the EU is like an economic union. And that's kind of the way it started, right? Okay, so we have a whole bunch of independent countries like Germany, France. They said, okay, let's kind of keep our own identity, but let's form an economic union. But then it kind of sort of morphed into a political union. Morph means to change from one thing to another thing. So the EU started as kind of an economic partnership, but then it kind of morphed into a political partnership, and now they're talking about, you know, having one army in Europe. I mean, they already have one currency, right? Do they have one leader? Well, kind of. Do they have one set of laws? Kind of. Do they have, now they want to have one army, one everything, just everything is one, basically like one country. A lot of people want that, okay? But then there are a lot of people in the EU who say, no, I don't want that. I don't want to, you know, our country is still our country. We don't want to just give up our country to be part of the larger country of Europe. You know, they don't want that. So people like Viktor Orban from Hungary, right? His views are diametrically opposed to someone like Ursula von der Satan. Can't remember her name. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. I think her name is pronounced Ursula von der Satan. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. So their views would be completely opposed. They're opposite, right? Diametrically opposite. It's like if you take a pizza and half the pizza is pepperoni and half the pizza is vegan. It's just opposite, right? So there's another example, guys. We've talked about a lot of examples here. Diametrically opposed. Give me some examples down in the comments. What are some things that you know, maybe you have a friend who believes completely different things, or maybe you have a company, maybe you're, you know, maybe you have two bosses in the company. A company has two bosses and they're always butting heads with each other. To butt heads is what goats do. Have you ever seen goats, like, you know, charging at each other and then they butt heads? That's called butting heads, but it's also it's a term we use when you don't get along with someone, okay? So if you always are arguing and you can't get on the same page with someone, get on the same page means agree. Okay, maybe your girlfriend is always butting heads with you. Maybe your husband is always, you know, or your boss or your friend, anybody Okay, anybody can butt heads. So let's say you have two bosses who are always butting heads. Then, you know, you could say you could even say their personalities are just diametrically opposed, or their vision for the company is just diametrically opposed. Okay? So to make this sentence, to use this in a sentence, like I said, you can either use opposed or opposite or opposing. So if you use the word have, okay, then it's probably going to be opposite. So they have diametrically opposite views, or they have diametrically opposing views. If you use the word is, then it's probably going to be opposed. So their culinary preferences are diametrically opposed to each other, right? One person likes this kind of food, the other person likes that kind of food, right? So they are, right? Are is a form of the verb be. So is is and are forms of the word be. So I would say if the word is be, then it's probably the next word is going to be opposed, like after the word you're talking about, right? His dietary preferences, or his future plans are diametrically opposed to hers. Okay, and if you have the word have, then it's probably going to be the word opposite. So he has diametrically opposite views to her. Okay, so I don't know, like you can look up examples online. If you just search for diametrically opposed examples, you can look up a lot of different examples. I've given you a lot of examples here in this video, but guys, it's a very common way to say the two things are just very different. Okay, and remember that it has this idea that they're butting heads. Okay, so if we think about apples and bananas, those two fruits are not butting heads with each other. It's people's attitudes to those fruits. Maybe the attitudes are butting heads. Okay, so this word diametrically opposed, it's always used to talk about like people. Okay, because people butt heads. People butt heads with each other, right? Apples. I think some bugs are crawling on my legs, guys. Apples and bananas don't hate each other, guys. And this word doesn't necessarily mean that two things there's hate involved. It just means very different. But very often there is hate involved. Like if I say, the conflict in the Middle East what was my sentence? Yeah, the conflict in the Middle East is usually interpreted in diametrically opposing ways. Okay, and in that situation there is a lot of hate involved, right? But I don't know, if you say your dietary preferences, or your girlfriend is a vegan and her culinary preferences are very different from yours, are diametrically opposed to yours, that doesn't mean you hate her, and maybe she doesn't hate you, although she probably does hate you, okay, for eating all that meat. Imagine that, guys, a pizza full of meat. Wouldn't that be amazing? Chicken, bacon, beef, pepperoni. I want to go eat a meat lovers, because now that I'm making this video, I'm kind of hungry for a meat lovers pizza. If you're a vegan, then we might have to order half. I'll order half meat lovers and you can order half vegan, and our culinary preferences will be diametrically opposed. All right, so anyway, guys, there's the word for you today. Like I said, it's pretty common, actually. You hear this talked about a lot, because in life we often are in situations where people have very different ideas, political ideas, or, you know, like we could say socialism and communism. Thought someone was following me again, guys. I'm going insane. Maybe it's my pizza brain. Now I'm craving pizza. How about you? What's your favorite kind of pizza, guys? Let me know down in the comments. If you could choose half and half, okay? If you could cut your pizza down into the diameter, which two kinds of pizza would you get? That's a hard one, guys. For me, I think it would be, you know, sometimes I just love a simple pepperoni pizza, guys. Or I love meat lovers too. I like I'm not a picky eater, guys. I like Hawaiian pizza. A lot of people don't like pineapple on pizza. You know, I like it. Would it be what I order? Would it be my first choice? No, it probably wouldn't be my first choice. But I do like it. I'm not picky. If you're picky, that means you just don't like this and you don't like that, and maybe you don't like onions, you don't like olives, you don't like tomatoes, you don't like so many different things. I like all of that, guys. I like all that stuff. So guys, which two would you do? Let me know down in the comments if you had to, you know, have two different flavors on a single pizza. I would probably pick pepperoni and taco pizza, maybe. Taco pizza is like ground beef, tomatoes, cheese, onions, olives. I like olives. I don't know. I'm easygoing, guys. Just throw a bunch of stuff on there and I'll probably eat it. So there it is, guys. You can use this in, you know, you'll hear it used in the news or in talk shows. People are talking about different ideas. You know, we could say socialism and communism or capitalism are diametrically opposed. Socialism involves central planning. Everything's like centralized. Capitalism is more like spread out, like decentralized kind of a government. All right, so what's your favorite kind of government? Would you rather live in a communist country where everything's kind of centrally controlled, or a capitalist country where everything is decentralized? Let me know down in the comments, guys. So that's it from me here. Just, I don't know. I had fun walking around with you guys. Thank you so much for joining me from this beautiful, beautiful place here. Someone's walking behind me, speaking a different language. Come on, talk more so I can hear it. I can't understand it. I can't even venture a guess. If you have no idea, you can say, I can't even venture a guess. Can't venture a guess because you have no idea. I didn't get a good enough listen. I'm not sure, guys. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me, and thank you guys for all your support. I really appreciate it. As always, I love you so much. Hope you're doing great. Hope it's nice and sunny where you are. Sun's hiding behind those clouds over there. I'll show you. See, you can see the sun. It's kind of like there, but it's just kind of hiding up there behind those clouds. So guys, I'm gonna go order a nice meat lovers pizza right now. That'd be great. Can't wait to eat that. I don't know where. I never order pizza. I usually buy the frozen crap from the grocery store because it's so much cheaper. A real pizza, guys, I don't even know how much a pizza costs these days. Like a big pizza at a place, how much does it cost? Is it like 20 bucks? 30 bucks? Guys, things are so expensive nowadays, I can't even believe it. But maybe I can make my own pizza. That'd be nice. It's too much work. I'll just shell out the money and buy one. To shell out the money, it means you pay you pay it, you know. I'm gonna shell out $30, buy a massive pizza, and invite you over to share in my meat lovers pizza. Or if you prefer vegan, we can do half and half. So guys, hope you're doing great. As always, I love you so much, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.